Congratulations on reaching the end of the third week in this course on preparing data for analysis with Microsoft Excel. This week you explored how to use functions to prepare data for analysis in Excel. Let's take a few minutes to recap what you learned in this week's lessons. You began the first lesson by discovering how inconsistent data affects analysis and the common mistakes people make. Examples of these errors include misspellings, unnecessary characters and spaces, and incorrectly placed entries. You now know that errors such as these have a negative impact on data analysis. You were also able to fix these errors in your data before submitting it for analysis. You then learned how you can use different functions to standardize text data. The left, mid, and right functions are used to return a specific number of characters from either the left, the middle, or the right side of a cell entry. Typically, these functions are used in situations where you need to transfer parts of the cell content to a different column. Many data analysts use the left, mid, and right functions to split the contents of a column into 3 separate columns. The trim function removes empty spaces from text strings, except for the spaces between words. This is useful for when you suspect that there are random spaces at the beginning or end of an entry. It's also a useful way to tidy up a column of text before beginning any analysis. Using the wrong case in text data can make a summary or report appear untidy or unprofessional. There are 3 functions you can use to standardize the case used in text entries. These are upper, lower, and proper. Lastly, you can use the concat function to combine entries from different cells in a spreadsheet into a single cell entry. And in this lesson, you put your new knowledge of functions to use by helping AdventureWorks. You used your knowledge of functions to help AdventureWorks standardize its data for analysis. One of these tasks was in the exercise. In the exercise, you had to clean up AdventureWorks' spreadsheet so that it could be used for data analysis. To complete this task, you used formulas to remove inconsistencies or errors from the data. And you made sure that your formulas followed the best practices you had explored during the lesson. You then undertook a knowledge check. In this item, you proved your understanding of concepts you encountered by answering a series of questions. Finally, you explored a list of additional resources designed to help you improve your knowledge of the topics in this lesson. In the second week, you learned how to use date and time functions in Microsoft Excel to generate new data. You explored different examples of how the data generated from date and time calculations can be used. For example, date and time data can be used to create a framework for planning, track business performance, and display important results. You then learned how Excel interprets and works with dates in a spreadsheet. All dates have serial numbers, which is how Excel interprets them. With these serial numbers, you can use dates to perform calculations, like subtracting one date from another. You also reviewed functions for creating dynamic formulas that calculate time and date values. These include the today and now functions. And you discovered that you can also divide a date entry into its component parts using day, month, and year, or return these components as a single date with the date function. Throughout the lesson, you put your new knowledge to use by assisting AdventureWorks. You help the company to plan its projects by using different date and time calculations. One of these tasks was in the exercise. In the exercise, you gathered date and time information for one of AdventureWorks' advertising campaigns. You completed this task using the date and time calculations you learned about. These functions helped you to generate new milestone data for AdventureWorks. You then undertook a knowledge check. In this item, you proved your understanding of the concepts you encountered by answering a series of questions. Finally, you explored a list of additional resources designed to help you improve your knowledge of the topics in this lesson. In week 3, you learned about logical functions such as if and ifs. You learned that logical functions can be used to ask yes or no questions about your data. If the function returns yes as its answer, then you can direct Excel to perform the required action. However, if the function returns an answer of no, then Excel can be directed to perform a different action. Next, you learn that for these tests to work, the formula must contain logical operators. The logical operators determine what kind of question the formula is asking and what value it needs for its answer. You discover that these operators make use of if formulas, and this formula needs 3 pieces of information to work. It requires a logical test, a true value, and a false value. You also learn that nesting functions is the technique of adding another function to the formula as an argument for the original function. In other words, you can place one function inside another to expand its functionality. There are 2 approaches you can use: the nested if function or the ifs function. You learned that the nested if formula begins with an if that performs an initial logic test. If the test turns out to be true, then the formula will simply process whatever action is specified in the value if true argument. However, the result of the logical test could also be false. If so, then another if function in the value if false argument could run another test and process different actions. The second approach is to use the ifs function. You discover that the ifs function steps through the tests checking each one. If one test is false, then the function continues to move through the remaining tests until it finds one that is true. When a logical test returns true as a result, the formula performs or displays whatever is in the value if true for that test. It then stops running tests. Just like in the previous lessons, you put your new knowledge to use by helping AdventureWorks. In this lesson, you determine the financial performance of the sales team using if and ifs functions. This included the exercise item. In the exercise, you helped AdventureWorks to generate additional information from a customer's spreadsheet. To complete this task, you generated the required information by using if and ifs functions, and you made sure that your calculation followed the best practices you had explored during the lesson. You then undertook a knowledge check and a module quiz in which you proved your understanding of the concepts you encountered by answering a series of questions. You've now reached the end of this module summary. It is time to move on to the discussion prompt, where you can discuss what you've learned with your peers. You'll then be invited to explore some additional resources to help you develop a deeper understanding of the topics in this lesson. Best of luck. We'll meet again during next week's lessons.